Andretti is preparing to enter the grid in style, as they have agreed to a deal with General Motors for them to be their engine manufacturer should they pass the obstacle called Liberty Media and F1, seeing as they are already let through by the FIA. The American team would most likely approach an American driver for the sole purpose of making this an all-American team. Should they manage to be appealing to Liberty Media, this would definitely mean adding an 11th team to the grid, which would in turn shake up the entire sport from its core. What would this mean to anyone, and is it feasible to begin with? As Formula One prepared itself for the glitz and controversy of the Las Vegas Strip, its most renowned American figure placed a substantial wager. And this doesn't revolve around Logan Sargent losing his career earnings at the roulette table, for example. No, what we're talking about is Michael Andretti and General Motors Cadillac taking a significant risk with their entry into the Formula One grid. In the vibrant atmosphere of Vegas, embracing a gamble seems inevitable, and many drivers, including Lando Norris, have joined in. Norris, for instance, was seen at a downtown Vegas shopping center on Monday, testing his racing skills in a simulator with a $65 entry fee and a $200 prize for the victor. Yet this gamble pales in comparison to the stakes involved in Andretti and Cadillac's entrance into Formula One. Granted approval in early October as the FIA greenlit their entry as a new 11th team, the journey for Andretti and Andretti Autosport began in January. The FIA, as the governing body, initiated an application process earlier in the year for new teams seeking entry into Formula One in 2025, 2026, or 2027, when new engine regulations take effect. While Andretti successfully navigated this process, gaining entry to Formula One is not a straightforward matter. Beyond the regulatory aspect overseen by the FIA, there exists a commercial dimension controlled by Liberty Media, also known as Formula One Management (FOM), which adds another layer of complexity to the entry process. Formula One, like the majority of professional sporting leagues globally, operates as a business, whether it's the NFL, Premier League, or IPL. Before the FIA initiated the application process for joining the F1 grid, Andretti was exploring avenues to enter the sport. His attempts to purchase teams proved futile, leading him to take a confrontational stance in the media, demanding a spot on the grid. This approach, however, did not sit well with the existing Formula One teams. Michael and Mario Andretti openly criticized the current teams, labeling them as greedy, elitist, and anti-American. Although Andretti Autosport has gained approval from the FIA to join the grid, the final green light hinges on the approval from Liberty Media under the Concord Agreement, Formula One's commercial framework. The challenge lies in convincing the current 10 F1 teams, who are significant stakeholders in Liberty Media, to welcome Andretti Autosport. Posing a potential roadblock is the fact that the existing teams contribute to the product that Liberty Media sells. Alienating them may complicate matters. FOM's response to Andretti's successful FIA application was notably reserved, expressing the need for an independent assessment of the remaining application phases. This lack of enthusiasm from FOM has left Andretti disappointed, given the substantial financial implications. If Andretti joins the grid, the annual pot of money distributed by Liberty Media to the teams would be divided among 11 instead of 10, resulting in a 10% income reduction for each team, equating to significant financial losses annually. In navigating this delicate situation, Andretti Autosport has strategically leveraged its engine manufacturer role. General Motors, a Detroit-based automotive manufacturing company, has formally registered with the FIA as a Formula One power unit manufacturer, slated to commence in the 2028 season. This move represents Andretti's innovative approach to surmounting obstacles and securing entry into the sport amidst the challenges posed by Liberty Media and the existing grid. Andretti has officially announced that General Motors will support their Formula One entry with a Cadillac-branded power unit. A significant challenge faced by the original Andretti entry was its lack of an internationally recognized brand. And while Andretti is prominent in US motorsport, it lacks global recognition. The inclusion of the General Motors brand Cadillac resolves this issue. Cadillac has formally registered with the FIA as a power unit manufacturer, set to commence in 2028. GM President Mark Reuss expressed excitement, stating, "We are thrilled that our Andretti Cadillac F1 entry will be powered by a GM power unit," said GM President Mark Reuss. "With our deep engineering and racing expertise, we're confident we'll develop a successful power unit for the series and position Andretti Cadillac as a true works team. We will run with the very best at the highest levels, with passion and integrity that will help elevate the sport for race fans around the world." GM sees this venture as an opportunity to advance its expertise in various areas, including electrification, hybrid technology, sustainable fuels, high-efficiency internal combustion engines, and advanced controls and software systems. GM has already initiated the development and testing of prototype technology. When it comes to drivers, Michael Andretti said both Alex Palou and Colton Herta are ready for Formula One, with both IndyCar drivers previously linked with a move to the series. "I have not the slightest doubt that Alex or Colton are ready for Formula One," the ex-F1 driver said. "They have high potential. I'd put both of them in a Formula One car in a heartbeat. I'm sure they can keep up." Lando was once Colton's teammate and they were on the same level. If you look at Lando in Formula One now, you know what Colton could do as well. Both drivers do have links with Formula One. Red Bull attempted to get Herta into their AlphaTauri team as replacement for Pierre Gasly, only for the FIA to deny the request to ignore superlicense rules. But that link does now appear to be dead, with Helmut Marko saying he's off the table. Michael Andretti strategically uses the Cadillac engine to secure a foothold in Formula One. The inclusion of Cadillac, a renowned brand, makes it increasingly challenging for the Formula One management and the teams to reject their entry. Rejecting Andretti now would also mean rejecting Cadillac, a move that might not sit well given Formula One's $500 million investment in expanding its presence in the US, particularly with the funding of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Turning away an American-based team with an American engine could potentially alienate the sport from new fans. Notably, F1 has yet to respond to Cadillac's approval, leaving the future implications of this move uncertain. When Ford revealed its partnership with Red Bull Powertrains to produce engines starting in 2026, F1's president and CEO, Stefano Domenicali, expressed enthusiasm for the move, stating that Ford's entry is excellent for the sport. However, in contrast, there has been a notable absence of acknowledgement for Cadillac. FIA president and Andretti supporter Mohammed Ben Sulayem expressed strong support for Andretti and GM, describing the presence of these iconic American brands as beneficial for the sport. While McLaren and Williams have not disclosed their engine suppliers for the new regulations, it's confirmed that Cadillac won't have engines ready until 2028, making them unavailable for initial partnerships. Andretti will source engines elsewhere until then, but the long-term plan is a strategic partnership with Cadillac starting in 2028. Cadillac's commitment as an engine manufacturer is closely tied to Andretti, and rejecting Andretti would leave Cadillac in a difficult position. This bold move by the American coalition may not win favor with FOM, but it eliminates one less reason for Liberty Media to oppose Andretti's entry. Regardless, Andretti is determined to secure a spot in the sport. Mario Andretti, the 1978 F1 World Champion, expressed frustration with the current team's seemingly selfish behavior, highlighting that Andretti Cadillac brings a new manufacturer to Formula One. He emphasized that their endeavor should hold value for the sport, considering Cadillac's entry as a positive addition. And look, I don't mind that people are enthusiastic about Andretti, and importantly, they've passed the FIA vetting process, but that's my huge doubt in a nutshell. Andretti's racing strategy? Run an off-the-shelf race car on contract. To me, it's very impressive that Andretti got GM on board, and that GM is messaging that they are already studying an F1 power unit concept. but it's a mistake in my mind to assume success when great, long-term constructors with infrastructure and F1 specific personnel find difficulty winning. Absolutely, success in other motor racing categories should matter, and for example, Indy at one time was a true constructors series, as was Michael's commitment to F1 when he was gifted a top seat. Be that as it may, Andretti's racing empire had a valuation of $30 million when this all started, and it was really appearing as if he was putting together a group of business investors to pay $200 million for $1 billion in valuation. If Liberty Media doesn't enhance the pie, why would anyone dilute their income for a newcomer? What average person that works at a modest coffee shop that has 10 employees would take a 10-way pay cut to bring on an 11th person? But the fact is, it will take Andretti at least a couple of years to be fighting for wins. I don't see an issue with that. Alpine, Haas, and the current Williams team can be seen as failures to launch, not worth their position in the pit lane if you judge competitiveness out of the blocks. The challenge ahead lies in Michael Andretti's negotiation with the existing complexities. Mario Andretti acknowledged that Formula One is evidently more political than IndyCar or Formula E, each with distinct goals and rules. While F1 has not extended a warm welcome to Andretti so far, the team remains committed, emphasizing their willingness to comply with any requirements. The question remains whether Formula One should extend a warm welcome to Andretti, especially with the signing of Cadillac as an engine manufacturer, and if this move will be sufficient to pave their way into the sport. What do you think? Could Andretti achieve success? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video.